Hi, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV, and we are here at the Conscious Live Expo. We are so blessed today to have Dr. Sarah Larsen with us. Hi Sarah, how are you?
Hello, so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to start our conversation with one of the most profound moments in your life. What would you say that was the one?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. Thank you, Angel. I've had many near-death experiences, and so the most profound experience for me would be the near-death experiences, all of them. And then also the birth of my children. It was such an extraordinary thing. Before I became a doctor, I witnessed a lot of births, and I thought, oh, it's going to be so easy to become a mom and then I went through the process of being and watching and experiencing a baby grow, and then meeting this extraordinary baby and being sent home with an extraordinary 2 babies at one point, you know, 1 baby, then a second baby, 2 children. So the near-death experiences and then the birth of my children are those moments that I feel the divine really touches us.
Wow, when you talk about near-death experiences, you're saying it as if it was something normal in your life. For the rest of us in Mindalia TV that we haven't had that opportunity, how does that feel?
It's a beautiful space for me today when I can visit those memories and visit what happened for me. It's a very rich experience, but when I was going through it, it was a little bit of a violent experience. And so the near-death experiences I experienced violently. And so here I was in the physical world experiencing extreme torture and pain. And then in the near-death experiences, I was meeting and understanding the highest version of myself and everyone that was involved. And so in those experiences, I could see how I agreed to have those experiences. And I had all of these sensations and senses, and of pure love, pure bliss, pure energy. And then I would check in with my body and come back to a physically violent experience. And so it was such a confusing time to go between both worlds, and it's been really amazing to integrate it and talk about it from a healed wholeness space that I hope gives to other people when I talk about the near-death experience and talk about what humans do to each other, what we sometimes do to each other.
Do you think there's a reason why those experiences happen to you?
I do. I believe it's because we each carry a frequency of peace. And I look at it as we carry a P-I-E-C-E, like a small token, a small part. And then we also carry peace. We carry the frequency of wholeness and peace, like world peace. So we each have our piece of peace. And when we can see and amplify the peace that we're here to amplify, everyone becomes more at peace with themselves when we're doing that. And I think that's why I had the near-death experiences. I think that's why so many people are now living to tell about going to the other side and coming back, because we need to remember we each carry a piece and we each belong to each other. And how to remember we belong is really by listening deeply while we're living to what the other person is bringing alive within us.
And do you think that we can, if we don't have a near-death experience, can we still get into that position, in that place that you were just describing?
Yes, it's so beautiful. It's I take people on trips, but to different places that we don't speak the language. You don't speak the language. You go on these journeys, and you have to really start using your inner resources. And you feel like you might be having a near-death experience because, say, you travel to the Middle East, or you travel to countries in Latin America, or you travel somewhere you don't speak the language, and you're so afraid of those places. And even before you get on the plane, a part of you thinks about all of the terror that could happen. And so we kind of have these near-death experiences when we travel or we go places far away from ourselves. And because all of our sensations come alive, so that we can navigate this world and be fully alive in this world. So that's one way. And then meditation and deeply listening and stilling yourself so you can connect with the center of your heart as well. You don't have to travel anywhere to have the near-death experience. Just go deep, deep within your own heart and consciousness. And when you start listening, first the big voices, those voices come on, then a still voice comes on, then you can hear all of the voices. Like when we were babies and we were listening, we could hear the sun, we could hear the moon, we could hear how the earth rotated, we could pick up on the ocean, the tides. Today, when there's a full moon, we notice the tides, we notice all of that. As babies, we were reading that and we turned it off, this connection to the other world. So it's still within me, it's still within you, it's still within every person watching and experiencing this. It's accessible, and we think we have to die to experience it. But truly, it's dying to the limitations or dying to the limited listening.
And is it possible that we reconnect, we rediscover that place where we were when we were kids?
It's really, to rediscover that place when we were kids is so beautiful, because if we get playful, if we start not coming to every conversation with an answer or what we're going to share, but we really just go in and we're like playing. I like holding hands because it helps me ground. And when I do interviews, if we can see each other's hands, for me, I feel really, really a lot safer. And so this is my way of like playing. I'm holding someone's hand. As kids, we would go play and hold hands. It's a different, we can create that all the time. The energy that we had as kids, as babies, the energy that we could possibly have as full-grown, fully accomplished adults exists within us too.
And how do kids lose this world of possibilities?
Losing that world of possibilities, it's whatever my parents didn't deal with, they passed down to me. In the way that they communicated, or the adults around me communicated, because they forgot their possibilities. And when they communicated, they shared that, oh, that's not a possibility, that's not a possibility. Or they told me a lot of no's. And if they told me a lot of no's, it was really hard for me to remember how strong on the inside I am, or how connected I am. The way that my dad showed up, or the way that my mom showed up, is how I connected to receiving from big God, big universe, the big mom, the big dad, earth, those scenarios. If they were limited in the way they gave to me, then my way of receiving from big God, the big earth, the big world got limited.
Changing subjects a little bit,
Yes.
How do you currently help people? How do you do it today?
So today I'm a medical intuitive. I'm trained as a medical doctor, and so I went to medical school in India. I went and I worked with non-government organizations. And then at some point when I became a mom, I didn't want to bring my children into the third world and my husband. And so I actually got very, very depressed because I thought I was going to be the Mother Teresa of medicine. And here I was with all of this very expensive education, this extensive ability to help. And I thought I'd chosen to be selfish and make a family and leave all of that behind. And in the course of that, someone said to me, serve wherever you are, help wherever you are. You don't have to go to some third world country or third world developing part of Los Angeles. You can help from wherever you are. And so that was a little bit of the waking up to, you don't have to go somewhere far away to be helpful. And when my grandmother passed away, my grandmother was my first teacher, she taught me how to see people and experience energy. And when she passed away, I started doing palm readings in her honor. And when I started, I decided to do 1,000 readings just to honor her, because I'd never shown her all of the different arts that she had taught me. And so I went out and I started doing readings, and in that, people asked me, would you teach me how to do this, or will you continue this in some shape or form? And so a medical doctor, having done all this stuff, now reading palms, coming out of the closet with the energy medicine skills. So I remind people of their peace, not the way that we see or relate to the world now, but how they related to it before they had language and before they came to Earth here. I really helped them be able to tune into and construct the world and heal their bodies and construct the world around them to be able to bring the best possibility to their life. And so that's why there's no other way to say it other than miracle. We have a show on UBN Network called Miracle Makers, and we talk often about how every moment we can bring a miracle into the world.
And how do you do that? How do you teach people to bring a miracle at any moment in their lives?
That's a great question. How to bring a miracle at any moment into your life is to empty your cup, or to empty yourself, to let go of whatever was before and become this space of possibilities, become this space of opportunities, become the space of turning whatever is given to you into love, or into service, or into helping and creating for the world around you. And also to include yourself in that, to really listen deeply what lights you up. And if you start following the things that light you up and bring you happiness, then automatically, because you're in a blissed space or moving towards being a happy space, you bring more happiness into the world.
Wow. Would you say that, is there a difference between because you talked about medicine, we've been talking about medicine, but
Yes.
we really haven't gone deep into that. Would you say that there's a difference between the diseases so that they can be healed? Some are healing, are possibly being healed, others not. What makes the difference?
That's a great question, because everything, diseases are, I break the word up into dis-ease. And so wherever we're not easy, wherever we're not in peace, our body registers everything. Your body's registered everything that you've had since you were a child. And so having that be registered in your body, any place that you don't let God or the universe or energy flow gets stuck. And sometimes if you don't listen to your gut or your intuition, then you get a dis-ease in your gut. If you don't listen and stand up for yourself, then you'll have back problems. If you're in fear, then the part of your body that filters that winds up in fear. But just like God, the source, the universe, there's no difficulty in making miracles. When you empty your cup, and you get in ease with what is, the dis-ease can be healed. So in all parts of your body, everywhere, there's a record of spontaneous healing. The Institute of Noetic Sciences kept a record of people that had medical diagnosis, no medical intervention, and had healed bodies. And so our body, if we have a cut, can heal itself completely. That happens in every cell of our body. And when we empty and let source or flow or life force or the universe in completely, we can heal that disease completely.
Wow. I'm really impressed. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much
You're
for
so welcome.
being here today. Again, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV, here from the Conscious Life Expo. Thank you. Thank you very much.